Village.
Buenos dias from the race village. The day has arrived. It's the semi-finals today. So 2 races in or out, do or die. Here is the first set of the 4 captains going in for the first semi-finals. Carlo, jumping in place of Roy. What do you fear most about this fleet?
Wow, I don't know where to start. You know, they're all extremely talented sailors, and the teams are doing very well. So I'm just happy to be here, and I think we can expect some really good racing. Yeah.
And what do you think are your strengths?
We have a young team. There's no fear. Everyone's performing well under the pressure. I think we've shown some match racing already, so that's good. And now we just got to find a little bit more speed in our team and sail our own race, you know, enjoy it and have fun. Yeah,
I think that's a good rule. And if there is one person who can always have fun, sometimes not always. So Vasco, what do you fear most about these giants beside you?
Yeah, exactly. As you can see, I'm in the middle of the giant, and for many reasons. I mean, first of all, because they are great sailors. I can say that we have quite an experienced crew, so I hope that we can try to play with this kind of experience.
Okay, so no particular thing you want to tell us about?
No, we have
going out there.
We have. Otherwise, they already know what we want to do. But so it's a secret. Yeah. And the second point is that usually I have a very good memory, but usually I forget it.
Okay,
no memory at all.
Ian, you are the match race specialist here. I mean, we have Olympic guys, we have a fleet magician here, but you're the match race specialist, and we have seen some very, textbook match racing during these days. Is that going to be an advantage for you? Is that the strength of your team?
Actually, I don't think so. I think what we've shown so far is that we're quite smooth and fast, and Nick's doing a great job of picking the shifts. So I think that's certainly going to be our approach today: is try and stay away from the other boats and sail fast.
What do you fear most about these guys, or who do you fear the most?
Yeah, we don't really go in for the fear side of things. We're more looking at the opportunity. It's just incredible opportunity for all of us to represent our countries. It's something that's very rare in our sport, and so it's really an opportunity to go out and show our skills and hopefully make it to the final tomorrow.
Thank you, Ian. Well, Robert, going in the water to defend and to bring the colors of your country is something you've done 7 times at the Olympics, 5 of which successfully. So, I mean, that's normal for you, but this time you're going with a bigger team and against other 3 big teams.
Yeah.
Again, what do you fear the most today, or what's the feeling you go on the water with?
Well, I see it as a great opportunity to battle against these great sailing nations, you know, to have a Brazilian team, you know, with the energy of South America. Everybody talks a lot in the boat, we have to quiet things down. But the team energy is pretty good. We've been improving round by round, race by race, and we're really looking forward to the opportunity to race today.
Well, the chatting competition, I think it's open between Brazil and Italy. Yeah. They're chatty as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, nothing more to say. We can't wait to watch you guys out there on the water. Have fun, and let us also have fun.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
-10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
It was a nerve-wracking quarterfinals for the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series. The new teams that came into this round knew that their opposition would be fierce, and any mistake at this point could potentially take them out of the competition for good. From now on, no new teams will come in to the later rounds. At the end of this quarterfinals, only 8 of 16 teams will be left. These 8 teams will be divided into 2 fleets for the semifinals. In the semifinals, each fleet will only race once, leaving only 4 boats left for a do or die, win or go home epic final battle that will crown the nation's world champion. This round started out with 2 days of very light wind, where we saw teams having to shift their weight around in the most delicate and precise manner we've seen since the beginning of the races. Massive spreads in the fleet, as boats having taken the same start would then cross each other as one going upwind and the other heading downwind. In Fleet 1, Great Britain came into the Golden Day having won every single one of their races, and as expected, they won race number 4. Great Britain is going on to the semifinals along with France. France and Malaysia had a massive battle. France managed to put a penalty on Malaysia just 20 seconds before the start, giving them a clear advantage, and from that point on, France stayed out in front and allowed them to move on along with Great Britain to the next round of the semi-finals. Malaysia and Denmark are going home. In Fleet number 2, we saw a great start from the Hungarian boat and from the German boat. In the end, a huge battle ensued between the Germans and the Netherlands. The Netherlands tried to luff the Germans. The Germans tried to give a penalty to the Netherlands. In the end, it was complete chaos at the windward mark. Both teams struggling to put their spinnakers up and set, and in the end that gave the opportunity for Chile to get away from them, finishing second as the Hungarian boat finished first, Netherlands third, and Germany fourth. In the overall standings after 4 races for Fleet number 2, Hungary and Netherlands are moving on to the semi-finals, and Chile and Germany are going home. In race number 4 for Fleet number 3, we saw a crazy start where New Zealand went over the line too early and had to turn around and come back. Brazil managed to make the best out of it and get to the windward mark first, but not before New Zealand came back, as we saw a huge battle between Brazil, New Zealand, and Australia. In the end, New Zealand goes across the line first. Brazil and Australia go across the line almost simultaneously, and Portugal crosses the line fourth. In the end, Brazil just managed to pass in front of Australia, and after 4 races in this Fleet number 3, we see Brazil and New Zealand moving on to the semifinals as Australia and Portugal are going home. In race number 4 for Fleet number 4, we saw a great start between all 4 boats, as Italy and Switzerland will have a full-out battle. If Italy wanted to have the opportunity to get into the semifinals, they would have to finish in front of Switzerland. In the end, Italy managed to stay out in front of Switzerland, as we saw Spain go across the line first, Italy second, Lithuania third, and Switzerland fourth. The overall standings after 4 races in Fleet number 4 sees Spain and Italy moving through to the semi-finals. Switzerland and Lithuania are going home. Don't forget to join us Saturday for the semi-finals of the SSL Gold Cup Finals Series, the Football World Cup in sailing. Hello and welcome, guys. Here we are at the semifinals, the day we've been waiting for. And I am joined here with Paul McKenzie. Paul, thanks so much for coming in. It's great to have you again.
Thanks, Jan. I'm disappointed to be here.
You look it.
Looking forward to the racing, though.
It's going to be absolutely epic. Apparently, there's quite a bit of wind out there on the water. So let's get things rolling here. Let's take a look right now at the match board. Here we are in the semifinals, so we are looking at the fleet number 1 is racing first, so it'll be Great Britain, Brazil, Netherlands, and Italy, and then just after that, so they're only doing one race. The 2 best boats of this are going on to the finals, and then immediately afterwards we have New Zealand, France, Hungary, and Spain, and again the two top finishers of that fleet will be going on to the finals. Now,
No mistakes.
no mistakes, absolutely. It's do or die day right now. So here we are. Those are the 2 fleets that will be sailing, right now. Now let's take a look at the team comparisons. So right now we have Team Great Britain, the Spitfires. They are SSL ranked number 2, weighing in at 728 kilos. Captain of the team, you just saw him, Ian Williams. To the right of him is Team Brazil, the Brazilian Storm, SSL ranked number 17, weighing in at 722 kilos. Captain of the team, Robert Scheidt. The bottom left, the Netherlands, the Dutch Lions, SSL ranked number 1. And they are weighing in at 726 kilos. Captain of the team, Roy Heiner. To the bottom right is Italy, the Gladiators, SSL ranked number 3, weighing in at 726 kilos, and the captain is Vasco Vascotto. And now, let's listen to the team's national anthems. And those were the team national anthems. Now let's take a look at who will be sailing on the boat. Starting in the back, the tactician on Team GBR is Nick Asher. At the helm, we have Ian Williams. Main trim is Ben Saxton. As a grinder, we have Philippe Clapp. The first trimmer is Aaron Cooper. Second trimmer, Peter Cumming. The floater is Kate McGregor. As the pit, we have James Dodd and bowman Matt Cornwell. Now let's take a look at the next team, which is Team Brazil. So at the helm, we have Robert Scheidt. As the tactician, we have Martin Grail. As grinder, we have Henry Boning. And we have also Mario Sergios Jesus Jr., which is up in the front. We have Henrik Gomez as well. We have Henry Raul Boning. As a trimmer, we have Mario Tinoco. As second trimmer, Gabriel Portillo Borges. And main trimmer is Andre Fonseca. So that is for your Team Brazil. Now let's take a look at the Team Holland. In the back, tactician Bart Lombrex. The helmsman is Nicolas Heiner. Main trimmer Rutger Vos. As the grinder is Carlo Huisman. And trimmer we have Arjan van Loosdrecht. And the second trimmer is Dimitri Simons. Floater Jolbert van Dijk. In the pit, we have Floris van der Werken. And in the bow, we have Jordan van Ruijgen. As we move to our last boat, which is Team Italy. Starting from the back, the tactician is Vasco Vascotto. At the helm, we have Michele Ivaldi. The trimmer is Stefano Chiampalini. The pitman is Jaro Furlinen. In the mainsail, we have Alberto Bolzan. In the bow, we have Matteo Aguardo. And the grinder is Emanuele Marino. Another trimmer, Federico Michetti. And the bowman is Andrea Totis. So that is for your lineup of the teams that are sailing here in this semifinal. Now, let's take a look perhaps at the race course. Here it is, as you see at the bottom of your screen. We'll be taking, obviously, going across the starting line, then up to mark 1 around the weather mark, then around the offset mark, down back through the gates where we've seen a lot of action, and then zigzag our way back up to mark number 3 as we then jibe and zigzag our way down to the finishing line. Now we'll see what's happening out there on the race course, as we go around the mark, and then we go down through the gates. That mark number 3, as we come up the second time, can change. It can be that pink mark, and if the race committee actually does decide to go and change the course around.
Very strong lineups in this race. It's interesting to see that the top 3 rankings have all ended up in the same semi-final, with the Dutch number 17 on the ranking list.
So we'll see what is happening out there right now. It looks like it's a little bit complicated to get racing underway, as we are seeing quite a bit of wind. We've been seeing up to 11 knots down towards the start, but we have been seeing some rain squalls moving through, and apparently we're getting up to perhaps 16 to 18 knots at the weather mark.
It's been up and down a bit all morning. There was rain earlier on. The rain cleared, the wind dropped. Now the wind's building again. The forecast for around 15, but very steady breeze. It's onshore. It's probably the rain can affect the direction, but we could expect fairly steady breeze, but not steady pressure. So
yeah, for the time being, Paul, we're looking at a course direction. The axis of the course should be at 0.55. So
that's within the line of the forecasts. All the models lined up this morning.
Okay, perfect. And also the distance is 1.1 nautical miles, so almost 2 kilometers. It looks as though we have an AP flag that has come up on a race committee, so we are still waiting to get that flag to come back down. I don't know exactly what is the reason for that flag that's coming up. Perhaps it's a squall moving through the top of the race course. Right now, as you see in the bottom right-hand side of the corner, the speed is at 11 knots, so that's down at the race committee where you're seeing the start over there on the left. Wind direction, we said 0.55. The forecast, light rain. So one of the first times we've been seeing rain coming through here in the last month that we've been here, and a little bit cooler, 20 degrees. Of course, all you guys watching us in Europe, I know it's snowing over there right now, so you're probably thinking to yourself, what are they talking about cold? It's 20 degrees. Yeah, so it's not too bad. It's a little bit of a change for us, but it's going to bring some great sailing conditions as we expect to see some pretty good sized waves and some good action.
If we do get the 15 or 18 knots on the downwind, we could actually see the boats really light up and planing with all the crew down the back hiking out to get the bow up and get these boats really going downwind.
Honestly, that's really what I'm hoping to see. I really would like to see these boats just flying downwind, and oh, it would be great. But we'll see what happens. As you guys know, when it's these sort of shifty conditions, we could go from anywhere from 10 knots to 18. So we'll see what happens as we're out there on the race course. But Paul, let's talk a little bit about the teams here. As we have been sort of analyzing these teams, we've seen them grow, and some of these teams have been with us now for a couple of weeks, and some are brand new. What do you think about Team GBR?
I think GBR is looking really comfortable. I think before I talk about GBR, I'd like to say that it's been a real race against time for these teams. Each of the teams coming in for their first round has only had 4 races to get up to speed, to understand the boats, to understand the manoeuvres. But we're past that phase. Everybody in this round has already had at least 1 week. So we're past that race against time. GBR didn't really seem to battle with that at all.
Ooh, they look very wet. They went through the rain cloud.
Plenty of wind out there. GBR's been the team that has been the most impressive so far. We're not sure how hard their group was. We'll find out from now on. But they really breezed through their round. No troubles other than pole getting out and no pressure on them at all at any stage during the regatta. So they've had an easy passage so far.
How about Team Brazil?
Well, that's been the other extreme. They really battled to make it through their first round, but second round went pretty well. They found a pin end start, which worked for them every time. The speed's better. They really, really hike hard compared to the other teams. Less impressive, but they got a chance. Netherlands. We go through the teams.
Let's go through the teams. Netherlands
didn't look very good when they arrived. Very young team with really not much experience on this type of boat. But they made it through. They've improved enormously, probably the biggest improvement of any of those teams that have got through. A young team, big options on the downwind, especially with their 49er tactician and Nick Heine, who doesn't mind a corner. So they'll push the boundaries of tactically, at least on the downwind.
And how about Team Italy?
Italy, I think, underperformed a bit at the start. We all expected a super strong team, but they seem to have sorted it now. They've picked up a lot. The last race was very impressive. They really put the other teams away to make it through to the semi-final, and I think that they'll have a good shot at making it through.
Perfect. Well, that's a little bit about the teams. As here, our expert Paul McKenzie, who let me just remind you, has already been to the Olympics, was sailing in the Finn class. You've participated in the America's Cup with a French team, and you are world champion in the ACAT category. So lots of experience, and you've been able to analyze what's going on with the teams since they've been here for now several rounds. So really interesting insider information right there. Now let's talk a little bit about the weather that we're having right now, as we have analyzed. Well, we've been analyzing for the last 2 days. Yesterday was a day off, so everybody's had a chance to really look at the weather. And what do you have to say about the weather, Paul?
Well, I see it's onshore. I see it's matching the forecast. Like I said, I don't expect big direction changes, but I do expect pressure changes, and that can be a pressure change from one side of the course to the other. And that's what we've seen when we've had the breeze in this direction other days. The good thing is the waves are in the same direction as the wind, so it makes it easier to mode the boats up and down, and especially downwind, the waves in the right direction, you'll be able to get on a wave, and if we do have 15 knots, possibly get the boats up planing.
And speaking of weather, we have Rachele, who is out on the water. And Rachele, if you can hear us, perhaps you can tell us what the conditions are like out there. So I'm not sure if Rachele, if you can hear us, please, you can come in anytime you'd like, as we are now getting racing underway. And you just heard right there, that was probably AP coming down as Orange went up just a couple minutes ago. And we are getting ready for sailing. So it's looking like as well we're getting some waves. It's been it's going to be more wavy this time around. As that is the information we're getting off of the race committee. So here we are right now on board with the Brazilian team as they are ready to get the time. Let's see if we can hear anything from the race committee. So it looks like right there, that was the 5 minutes off of a race committee. Here we are at the pin end of the line with the Italians as everybody is going around. So we're seeing some nice pressure right now from all of out there on the water. It's really exciting. This is
I think the level already went up a lot in the last round. Not all the way around the course, but the starting level was much higher, and I think that's why some of the qualifiers finally went out in the quarterfinals. I think these guys, the four teams are quite strong at starting, especially GBR and Italy, but the others are definitely capable, and the starts are key. The start, if you get off the line in the top two, there's a good chance of getting to the finish in the top two, as long as you can get around the marks the right way.
We've heard teams talking about how important it is to get that start, and if you can get off the start well, then you have, like you just said, you have the opportunity to be out in front. However, we have seen all sorts of things happening with boats going over the line a little too early, having to come back.
And I think to expand on that, there's teams that are capable of still finishing top two without a great start. And I think in this fleet, it's GBR and Italy that have got the speed. I think for Brazil and Netherlands, they need a reasonable start to get away and have a chance. If they're behind early on, it's going to be hard for them to come back because they don't have the same speed edge.
So we'll see what happens here as we are 3 minutes from getting racing underway for the first fleet here at the semifinals. Remember, guys, only the two boats that cross finish line first will go on to the next round, which is the finals. So of the 4 boats you are seeing right here, 2 of them will be going home in just about 45 minutes. Now, this is a really important moment right now for all of these teams, as we're seeing some pretty good sea state right there. And I've just heard that Raquel is back, Paul, so we'll just quickly go to Raquel. If Raquel, what's it looking like out there on the water as we are 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from racing?
It's chilly, and it's kind of cool. It's the coolest day so far. It's gray sky. We've had some squalls, some rain coming through. The wind is strong. The sea state is big. I mean, it's a day where when the game gets tough, the tough gets going, right? So let's see who's the toughest in this fleet, because you need to have very good maneuvering, very good teamwork with conditions like this. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. It's what we wanted for the epic semifinals day, and I can't wait. I mean, like you said, 16 knots maximum, but mostly we are on about 12, 13, and we've seen the boat going around, and they're ready. They look ready. They're in the game, Jan.
Thank you very much, Raquel, as we're just looking at the drone shot right now, and it's just, you can see how fast they're moving the boats around right there. It's already becoming super aggressive, as we are seeing Brazil 1 minute and 10 seconds before the start, just completely ready to be able to put the pressure on the others. So it looks as though Brazil has decided to be the most lured boat, as you see them at the top of your screen right there. The Netherlands are close, very close to us. They are the closest boat to us right there. And there is the Brazilian boat, as you see those waves right there. So we're going to have to keep in mind the fact that those waves right there, in order to get the boat going, they're really going to have to start. But look at this, 35 seconds, and it looks a little bit they're perhaps, for the Brazilian team all the way down there, I'm just wondering if they're going to be able to make the pin, as we have sometimes seen it really difficult. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, we are 20 seconds away from the start of the semifinals. This is the moment. This is what we've been waiting for. Here we go, 10 seconds left. Let's see if Brazil can make it across the line all the way down there at the pin end. And there it is, the line is open. It seems as though it's a clear start for all boats, so here we go. This is it, the beginning of the semifinals.
4 excellent starts, all lined up across the fleet. As we expected that there could be one boat already eliminated at this stage, but it's not the case, so it's a 4-boat race from now on.
So this is looking really good right here, as we're seeing the boats jumping over the waves as they're trying to pick up some speed here. This is the most waves that we've seen so far, and remember, it's supposed to be lighter towards the starting area. As we get closer and closer towards the windward mark, we should be seeing more wind. Very interesting here as we see Brazil at the top, sort of putting in a low mode, as perhaps the Italians right now are trying to go as high as they can and squeeze out Great Britain. Great Britain right now is in a difficult position, as they are in the middle of a sandwich between Team Holland and the Italians.
But no significant speed differences for any team so far. Brazil's in the easiest position. The Dutch are in quite an easy position because they can just stay high and stay clear. The English are in the most difficult position, but so far they're holding up, and no reason to tack off. It's a battle of inches. The question is, do you trim or do you hike? And there's a combination of both, but you really got to get the body weight out there and just pull your boat over, but have the sails set the right way. GBR just losing a bit now.
Now we're seeing Brazil right here that had put in a little bit of that low mode, so they've got a lot of speed. They're going a little bit lower than the others, but they're pulling out in front. So as we've seen Brazil do over and over again, managing to try to get the quick advantage as they get off of the line. And look right now, it looks as though the Italians have been able to come up on the British. So it's getting tougher and tougher for Great Britain as they are perhaps getting squeezed out, as we may see them having to tack over. So far, no one's tacking. We're 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this leg, and it's a full-on drag race between all 4 boats right now as we are on board with the Brazilian boat.
We can really see that GBR are hurting now. They're dropping back. They'd like to get out of there, but the loss is just too much to open the gap and get behind the Dutch. The Dutch don't want to tack before the GBR boat does, because they can make them lose more if they hold on longer. And actually they're in quite a strong position because nobody can tack until the Dutch tack.
As we see the boats right now just jumping off of the waves as they are going straight into those waves. Now we've seen the waves all over the place here on these in these last rounds, as we've seen boats surfing down the waves as they're going upwind. Well, today they're actually beating straight into the waves, so a little bit different. Look, here comes Team GBR right now. They've managed to perhaps come back a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to survive at this stage.
So perhaps Italy stopping to put that high mode in, allowing GBR to be able to come down just a bit.
Or it's the Dutch that have lost a bit of mojo and just got hooked on a couple of waves and dropped back, making an easier position for GBR.
Interesting, as we're seeing everybody still in a drag race. No one has tacked since the beginning, so this is 4 minutes of drag racing right here between all boats. As you see here, all we're seeing are shoes, so that's a great sign right there that everybody's pulling as hard as they can.
Fantastic level of sailing to have 4 teams that are capable of all sailing at the same speed, keeping their boats apart, keeping out of the dirty air. That's pretty impressive.
Look at the bows of those boats just smashing into the waves right there.
Yeah, and Italy didn't hit a couple of waves and they've just jumped forward a half a length.
So it's really a question of how the skippers are able to manage the waves. How can they keep their boat speed up? And so we're seeing right here, I mean, on the Brazilian boat right there is Robert Scheidt. Right there at the helm. You know, he has 5 Olympic medals. He's got the 2 gold medals. He's a 12-time world champion. So lots of experience from all of these skippers. And I mean, obviously he's not the only one. There are just some unbelievable
Looks like they're going into attack here.
All boats. So first tack being put in right now by the Brazilian boat. Let's see how this is going to go. So it looks like they're bearing away right there as they open the main, deciding to, look at the speed they're going to have right now. As perhaps, will they attack? No, they're deciding to go behind the British. That just dive behind. As we see that Team Netherlands, Team Holland right there has decided to tack and go to the other side. So currently right now we have our first split in the field right now in the fleet, as the Netherlands and Brazil are going off to the course right. Italy and Brazil still going straight to the left. As we saw Brazil putting a big bearway to pass behind GBR and Italy. So definitely they've been wanting to go to the right, Paul.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a nice move to attack, for the Dutch to tack over underneath Brazil. It's an easy position for them to sail out to the right. Brazil, I have the feeling they were worried about the ship that's on the left there and getting hooked up in the fleet, so they got out early. GBR was very impressive on that starboard tack to be able to hold their position all the way. I think they've survived their first big test. Might be a bit easier for them from now on.
Now it's interesting also with the sea state right now, as it's a little bit different now that they're on that port tack. We're seeing the waves, they're not quite hitting them straight on. It'll be interesting to see how much smoother they can go through those waves. And it looks like right now our leader are the Italians. So as we are right now looking, the Italians seem to have a little bit of a lead as the three other boats are really neck and neck. Between second place and fourth place right now, there's only about 20 meters. And that's what the computer is telling us, but we'll see what happens as the teams get back together.
Yeah, it does look a little bit easier on this tack to get through the waves. Boats are bouncing around a bit less, and maybe there's a chance for the crew to be able to get some arms out at times to get a bit more riding moment. We've seen Brazil using that at key times pretty often, but it just was a bit hard on starboard, bouncing over the waves to hold on and keep your arms out there at the same time.
Remember, guys, they don't have any hiking straps. They are holding on to the sheets with which they are adjusting the sails in order to be able to hang on and not fall off. So it's a difficult and very physical, demanding posture to be able to keep right there on the boats. As we're seeing all boats now on a port tack, 770 meters till we get to the weather mark. And this is where we are going to start seeing the show being put on, because the waves are big, the wind is up, and they'll be putting on those kites, and we should be seeing some absolutely insane images as the boats will surf down the waves.
I think it's going to be fantastic, but I think these tacks that are coming up here at the top mark are already going to be a bit of a spectacle. The Dutch are stepping out a bit here, so they're going to come to the ley line first. They're going to tack over. If they can get a tight ley line, the other boats are going to have to decide whether they go behind or whether they try to tack close underneath and luff at the end to get around the mark, which will be difficult in these waves.
So we're seeing a little bit of rain here as we were with the last camera shot, but I've been told the sun is coming back out. So we'll see what happens. I'll tell you what, these guys, they're not feeling the cold whatsoever. The adrenaline on these boats right now is pumping. This is the moment that these guys have been waiting for, is to get, look at that. It's just full on right there from everybody. Absolute concentration as they're 450 meters away from the weather mark.
Very impressive what the Dutch have been able to do. This young team's really understanding the boat and getting the best out of it there. They're going around the bow of Brazil and just faster. They're putting pressure on Italy now, who was in a very comfortable position at the start of this tack.
Very interesting as they managed to put in a high mode right there, as we have seen Brazil for these last couple days being able to go higher and faster than everybody. But right now Brazil is in third place, as Team Holland is looking as though right now they're going to be going through, as they have a slight lead, as we are 260 meters away from the weather mark. This is going to be absolutely epic as we see them put their kites and cruise back downwind in this big sea state.
So this is a big moment between Italy and the Netherlands, because Italy's probably going to have to duck the Netherlands, but they're going to have Brazil right there.
As I believe we just saw the offset mark in the background right there. Now remember, when the Netherlands tack, they'll be on a starboard tack, so they'll have the right of way as they come in front of the Italians. So the Italians, either they tack and leave out the Netherlands, or... Oh, look at this, yeah. Oh, a big bearaway right there. A huge bearaway from the Italians in order to respect that port and starboard.
Very late decision. They have to
go a little bit further here to make sure they don't stop.
Very late decision from the Italians. Too late to have a smooth maneuver.
I thought they could have perhaps passed. Now they need to get that speed up as the others are coming behind, as Brazilian now is going to be putting on the pressure. There is Brazil breathing down the neck of the Italians as they are arriving second at the windward mark. Now here we go, here comes the hoist. Such an important moment right now for Team the Netherlands as they are putting up their spinnaker, so it looks like it's going to be a good hoist right there and a fast drop for the jib. Nice and clean for Team Holland. Now let's take a look at the others. Oh, what's going on there with the Italians?
Nice hoist. Nice safe hoist.
All right.
We're not into the wind range we were hoping for with the planing conditions,
but
no,
they're not able to put the jib down. Did you see that? The Italians having just perhaps a knot in the, there it is. Now they're just finishing right now to put the jib down. I think there's enough wind, probably. It doesn't affect them too much. But there definitely needs to be some housekeeping going on this Italian boat, because the Brazilians are just behind them. Look at that, being able to put in a low mode and jibing, as we see perhaps. No, they are the only ones that are going low right now and jibing. So Team Brazil splitting off from the rest of the teams, as we saw Team GBR right there in the background going around in fourth place.
Strong option by Brazil to get the jibe in so early, but the Dutch have responded quickly. They like the option to get on the other tack.
So now let's take a look at the other two. What are they going to do? Are we going to be seeing the Italians jibe as well and come and protect their position? Right now, the only ones that are on a port tack is Team Brazil and the Netherlands. Very interesting. As here we go. Here goes the Italian. Looks like a nice clean jibe right there from the Italian team. Lots of pressure right there on the boat. You can just tell. Look at how hard the grinder is working right there. Oh, boats are cruising now. Look at that bow wave. You can just see it right there. Oh, such hard work right there from the grinder on the Italian team.
So you can clearly see that on this tack they're more in line with the waves, and they're able to get onto those waves. The main's coming in to pump them on. The spinnaker, we can't see it, but it'll be doing the same. And the crew have moved back.
So that was the grinder on Team Italy, number 11, Emmanuel Marino. He's been to the Louis Vuitton Cup twice with Luna Rossa, and he was a world champion in 2018. So he's lots of experience from that grinder right there, but you could just tell he was having a hard time sheeting in.
You can see Brazil trying to get onto a wave here as well. Martina giving it everything.
Oh, yes, I barely saw her. She was completely hanging out there. Very interesting here as we see a change in the grinders, as perhaps wanting to keep the weight of the grinder on the Brazilian team, which is Henry Boning, number 4 right there. He does weigh about 120 kilos, so keeping all that muscle out there and making sure the boat is flat. So that's perhaps why we're seeing a change right there on the grinders.
Yeah, the lighter guys are in, the heavier guys are out, keeping the boat up, giving a bit of riding moment, because you really need to load the boat high and then come down on the wave at the right time to get the surf started.
And now, very interesting, guys, if you look at where the whole team is on these boats, you see as the whole team has moved towards the back of the boat, and that is done on purpose so that they put the weight in the back in order to lift the front up so they don't dig into the waves. And that's completely different from what we've been seeing. So everybody right there is in the back, even the number one. So number one usually is in front of the mast. And so a different way of sitting onto the boat in order to be able to slide, if you want, down those waves without having the nose of the boat dive into the water, because obviously if you do that, then you're going to be slowing the boat down.
So it looks like the Dutch have got the speed they need. They're all dinghy sailors. This is the sort of angle that they're used to, sort of speeds that they're used to. They seem to be able to keep up with the Italians, who are a really experienced team. GBR's not coming back at this stage, but there's a big moment coming up.
There's a big moment coming up in less than 770 some odd meters. But it's great to see here that with the grinder drinking water, so these guys are super concentrated, but never forgetting to hydrate themselves in order to be able to think clearly. The grinder right there, you just saw him press on the ground. He's changing basically the winches he's able to use. So physically right here, look at how fast they have to grind and how hard they have to grind, but at the same time mentally they have to make sure they know what they're doing and which winch they're turning on and off. So it's a really impressive job, as they have to be in sync with everybody else. But look right now what's going on here as Team Netherlands, the Team Holland here is going to is coming on a starboard tack and forcing the Spanish to have to jibe.
So Italy's trying to just, they think that they're ley line now. I think they can just give a wind shoulder to the Dutch. It's going to be close.
Look at how close this is right here, as we are 400 meters away. This is going to be such a crucial moment right now for both of these teams. As a matter of fact, for all four of these teams, taking that big kite down is going to demand a lot of manpower, and as well being able to to have the correct timing. We have seen all sorts of things happening.
Well, this is a whole nother level. The Dutch are in the dirty air, the Italians are in a strong position. There's more waves than ever. There's a jibe coming up, a short distance to the gate, the jib's already in the air, and they're tempted to push further. So that's it.
Here we go. Team Holland just putting in a jibe right there, as we are less than 200 meters away from the gates right here, as they're bearing away, trying to depower that kite as much as possible. And here we go with a windward drop. Now let's make sure that spinnaker does not get under the boat. Uh-oh, what's going on? All right, they've still got time. Now this is a moment, perhaps now, for the Italians, as the Italians go for a leg drop and they go way past the leeward gate. Oh, at least a good boat length for the Italians. So the Italians right there still haven't put their spinnaker into the water. We said all sorts of things could happen. Now take a look at the Brazilian boat as they're coming around here and they're getting closer. It looks good for the Brazilian team. What's going on with Team GBR is we've seen them so good in doing their maneuvers, so great maneuvers right there by the last two boats. Look at the Team Italy, still don't have their spinnaker into the boat. This potentially could be catastrophic for the Italian teams right now, as they still don't have their spinnaker into the boat, and perhaps relegating now the Italians to second, third, perhaps even fourth place if they don't fix this now. So, oh dear, could this be the Italians not going through to the finals? Oh, we've seen drama over and over again. Oh, that was a close one right there, Paul.
Some really messy drops. The only good saving grace for the Dutch was that they started early. Brazil was the big winner out of that. They're right back in this. Italy was very late and not a good drop, but they're still in second. So
they're still in second, but catching up to them is Brazil right there, right on, just in the back, ready for them to make one more small mistake. Oh, well.
Nice position
Paul,
for the Dutch at this stage.
Let's go.
They've taken a little jump.
Paul, let's go find out what's going on the water here. Perhaps Raquel has seen something that we have not seen. Raquel.
Well, you've seen it. That was a bad maneuver by Team Italy, as much as it pains me to admit it. And the Dutch had a much clearer one. But I think the only good news is that I think Vasco wanted to go to the right-hand gate. So they want a course left. They are now sailing course left. It worked well for them on the first upwind, and they were all on the course left. So I don't know. I'm going up with Team Netherlands. They're looking a lot at the other teams because this upbeat is different from the previous one, because you now have a position to defend, while in the first one you had to just put your bow up, right? So trimming, lots of work. Nobody is actually standing still. They're not hiking as hard as they were on the previous upwind. Now they are. So I think there have been some changes both in speed and in direction. So the Brazilian have tacked. I do not see the Italians because they're covered by the Dutch, but it's a split. So if the wind will shift to the right, then it would be good news, even for the British.
Right, well, thank you very much, Aikele. As, yes, I can confirm to you the Italians have now just tacked, and we are on board with them right now. So they are on a port tack. All boats are now on a port tack, as the Netherlands are the leaders, and they have a 118-meter lead over the Italians. The Team GBR, which is a little bit more in the center of the racing course, have only 20 meters behind things have been changing. So now Brazil is in third place, GBR is in fourth, but only 20 meters behind the Italians. So it's still very, very close between the Italians, the Brazil, and Great Britain. Seems as though Netherlands is managing to pull out, Paul, and stay out ahead.
Looking good for them at the moment, but the fact that GBR has just tacked over, and if you look at the track, looks like they're quite high on starboard, so they've tacked back because they've got something. They haven't tacked back for nothing, and they look like they're quite close to Brazil.
Here we are on board with Team GBR as they're coming to a cross right now between GBR and Brazil. Let's see what happens. Is Brazil now going to attack GBR in order to defend their third place? Yes, it looks as though. So Team Brazil is now attacking just lee bow of the English boat. Now it's really important for these guys to pick up their speed, otherwise Team Great Britain is going to just have more speed and keep that momentum up and be able to pass on top of the Brazilian boat right here.
The boats are really,
they're getting closer
really
and closer.
Really close. So it'd be hard for GBR to stay there, and now they're taking off.
And there they go. So Brazil doing a great job at attacking the Team GBR. GBR now having to go back off to the right-hand side, and them two now having to pick up their speed coming out of that tack. Paul, we're 25 minutes and 52 seconds into this, as we are more than halfway through this race, and it looks as though right now the Netherlands are clearly out in front, and it's still a battle between the Italians, the British, and Team Brazil.
Yeah, Italy's not far off the level of the Dutch at the moment. They seem to be a bit ahead of the other two. They'll be happy with this little fight going on between Brazil and GBR, but still all to play for. The hoist is going to be critical as well. The ley line at the top mark, the tacks are costly. So
now we did see Italy having a little bit of an issue dropping down their jib, and what happens there is sometimes there can be a knot in the, well, there you see, that's the pitman right there, so he's getting everything cleaned up. He needs, you see, he's putting, what he's doing right there is the halyard. He's putting that halyard into that bag, making sure it's nice and clean. It's really important for that halyard to be clean so that they get a nice, good drop. So that's the jib halyard he was putting there. If that jib halyard is clean, then the jib will come down immediately and the spinnaker will be able to be full of air very quickly. If they don't, they have a knot like we saw on the Italian team, well then they're going to have issues putting that spinnaker or having that spinnaker full of air, and therefore potentially losing distance. This is such a crucial moment right now if the team Holland wants to go through to the finals, and it looks like perhaps they can. Only the top two boats.
Things have just got a bit more difficult than they were a few minutes ago. Italy's going to cross ahead here, but if Italy's crossing ahead, that means that Brazil's come back a lot, and maybe it's not so good for GBR.
So it looks like the left-hand side has paid for the Italians, as we see Team Brazil now going off to the left. Now this is sort of a all-in move from Team Brazil, going in off to the left, as they know that they have to take a chance in order to be able to come back. And now our new leaders, Team Italy is now leading in front of Team Holland. So they have been able to make a comeback, but you see up at the top of your screen, that is Brazil way over there on the left-hand side, trying to find something to be able to come back. Right now, as it stands right now, the Italians and the Netherlands are going on to the finals, and Brazil and GBR are going home. That is, if we were to finish in this order right now. And Brazil now just tacking, as you see them at the top of your screen right there. Let's see what happens when these boats will cross. Let's hear, we are on board with Raquel's boat. As you see, there's a lot of spray.
You really get an impression of the swell that's coming down the course now. It's waves on top of the swell, but the swell is at least the length of the boat wide.
So this is interesting. Both these boats now are plowing through the waves, really smashing into them, as the Brazilian boat has them a little bit more to the side, so they should have perhaps an easier time getting over the waves. We'll see what happens if Brazil is managing to close the gap. So take a look at the distance on the top left-hand side of your screen there for the Brazilian team, as it looks quite stable now, about around 140 meters. Here comes Brazil at the top of your screen right there. So Team Holland now putting in attack, deciding to go further off to the right. Remember, none of these boats are ley lined. Italians still in front. Now the Italians are playing they're playing the fleet right there.
I think the Dutch are also playing the fleet, feeling like Brazil's comfortably behind that way. And if they can get out a bit further to the right, they can also have the GBR comfortably behind. They just won't want to have Italy tacking on them for the last approach to the top mark.
I'm very surprised to not see Team Holland fully out on a rappel. I would expect them to be completely hanging out as far as possible. Now look at this, it's an attacking duel between the Italians and the Netherlands, which is now allowing Team GBR and Brazil to be able to get back into it, as all boats now are coming back into the race. Oh, look at Team GBR just flying on over those waves right there. What a great shot right here. As you see the boats, really, there's a big sea state right now. So let's look here at as the Italians are coming into around that pink mark. There's going to be a lot of things to do. This is a crucial moment for the Italians. This has to be a perfect set right there if the Italians want to have a chance to be able to stay out in front. And it looks like a very good set for the Italians, as well as for Team Holland. So right now, Italy is out in front. 10 seconds behind is the Netherlands. As we see at the top, at the back of your screen, here comes Team GBR. Right now, Team GBR and Brazil are 3rd and 4th place. If it stays like this, both of those teams will be going home. This is the last downwind. This is the moment. This is the first of the semifinals. This is the moment that either the front teams will go through or perhaps the back teams will be eliminated and are going home.
I think GBR's just done enough to keep the pressure on the Dutch. They're not in a strong position, but they're not completely out of it. So they'll be pushing hard all the way. Chance that they might just take the opposite option to the Dutch and go all the way to try to nail it in one jibe. Probably their best shot.
So you're saying perhaps one jibe here for GBR or Italy?
Italy's in control. They can afford a few jibes, but GBR needs to make up at least 3 or 4 lengths. And the best way to do that's avoid jibes and to be on the opposite side of the course to the Dutch.
All right, so here we go. All right, let's go out onto the water. Rachele, look at that. The Italians have come back and they're now leading.
That doesn't surprise me, Jan. They know how to sail on a big stage. No, but it's not true. Everybody here, the level is just so high. And the Netherlands, I'm so happy to see them sailing like this. I mean, today could easily be a day out on just outside Amsterdam because of the gray sky, the big sea state, and the strong wind. So these guys, I mean, what I often say is that if you become a sailor living in the northern of Europe, then you really are a sailor. Paul Elfstrom is the best example of it. I mean, it's easy to say in the Mediterranean in summer with 30 degrees and a nice sea breeze, but for them it's tough, and they're proving to be tough people. But yes, it's so exciting. This is only the first of the 2 semi-final of the day, and we are already seeing so much battle, so many lead change, and well, it's unfortunate for Team Brazil and GBR also. I mean, I would have never expected them to see them struggling a little bit in the back, but it's not over until it's over. We've seen crazy things happen. And so let's get done with them to the finish line, the first finishing line of the semi-finals.
Yeah, this is super exciting as we've been able to see the Italians coming back to attack the Netherlands. Both those teams right now coming back through, and you're absolutely right. The GBR having won every single one of their races so far. Oh, look at that. Big wave number 1 there, just getting completely covered in the waves as we see these boats sliding, gliding down, surfing down the waves. What great images. Oh, they've got to make sure they don't fall off the boat. That would be a catastrophe. If one of those crews were to fall off, the boat would have to go around, and that would certainly be the end of their hopes. Oh boy. So this is, as you see the boats here, just great surfs coming down as we are halfway down, approximately halfway down of the last leg here until we get to the finishing line.
These Dutch guys just look like they're loving it. They're just going faster and faster every time. They're sailing the same speed, they're sailing lower, they're catching Italy.
Look at this big surf we're about to see right there. Oh, love it. looks so good as everybody is standing there on the back. As you see just the back of the boat getting picked up with those waves. And they're really working the waves well. Look at that now, pumping as well every time. So with the mainsail in the back, you see on the main pedestal in the back.
2, 1.
As I'm hearing some chatter right there. Somebody had just put in a jibe, or perhaps just a little bit of a pump.
Just doesn't seem to be the same level of enthusiasm on this boat. I think the writing's on the wall and they can see that it's not going to happen. It's a big mistake from the Dutch if something changes.
So right now, 800 meters until we get to the finishing line, and it looks like Brazil and GBR are not going to be going through. A lot of people were expecting the Brazilians to be able to come through as they had finally found their mojo and were really looking like a very strong team coming together. But it looks as though the Italians and the Netherlands have done just a little bit more in order to be able to get out in front, as we see now perhaps what could be the final jibe for Team Holland, as they are only 560 meters away from the finishing line.
Really working nicely as a team with the guy on the runners, the trimmers, the grinders, helmet tactics, finding the angle, really sailing well.
And now we are going to be seeing Italy managing to come back and now getting out in front of Team Netherlands as they put in a jibe. This is going to be such an important moment for them. This jibe has to be impeccable so that they can be one of the first two boats. And there it is. Italy has now jibed. So it's just a couple more 100 meters for both of these teams, as it looks like the Italians and Team Holland will be going on to the finals. The last couple pumps right here as we're getting even closer and closer to the finishing line. There we see the tactician Vasco Lascotto congratulating his helmsman as we are 120 meters from the finishing line, and this looks like this is going to be it. So Italy goes through. Italy is in the finals as they win this fleet of the semifinals, and just behind them are Team Netherlands, and there it is. Italy and Holland are going through to the final as Brazil and GBR
What a race.
are going home.
Surprises. The Dutchies were really impressive.
Wow, what a race. What a race.
And I think Italy still has a bit of potential to tap into. A couple of mistakes during that race. So to come out with the win after two quite big mistakes, they're going to be really strong in the final. And the Dutch, I think, are just going from strength to strength. They made a big impression on me.
There it is, the Italians winning their heat here in the semifinals and are going through to the finals. So for tomorrow will be the finals, as now teams are going to be changing here as we are about to see fleet number 2. Oh, look at how disappointed these guys look right here. You could just see the disappointment.
Yeah, they were already looking strong and just never really got it going in this race.
It's so tough when you win all your races and then you come in here into the semifinal and that's it, and it's all over. So it's all over for these guys as well, as they've been sailing well. We've seen them here go through the rounds.
Yeah, they did a great job. They improved a lot. really got to a good level. They had a bit of a chance in this race, but just couldn't quite get a break, couldn't quite get what they wanted, and maybe a few regrets on the first tack after the start. They were in quite a strong position, but getting out to that left lay line, who knows if they'd have held a bit longer and gone with Italy out to the left, but it's great in hindsight.
Well, we could, with a bunch of what ifs, we could fix all the problems in the world, but right now, as it stands, you're seeing right there, Italy and Netherlands going on to the finals, and Great Britain and Brazil are going home. So that is the result of this fleet number 1. As we still have some more racing coming up, we have a fleet number 2. It'll be same format, so it'll be one race, and then we'll see who's going on to the finals tomorrow.
Let's hope for the same wind.
Now let's go down to the water with Rachele, as she is on the boat Team Italy with a big smile on her face.
Well, I feel quite at home on this boat, maybe because they speak the same language, maybe because part of my family is here. But it's a funny situation, as you can maybe see Team Spain here, and they're congratulating. These two teams have been fighting and going back and forth at each other, but in the end, they're very friends. Michele, wow, that was a race.
That was fantastic race, yeah. Big changing condition, wind coming, going from 15 to 12 knots. Great waves downwind. I had fun. We had a lot of fun, and now I think the team did a fantastic job. It was great to have a good debrief last night with Diego. We looked at all the stars. We knew what to do. We knew the weakness of the other team. So very happy of the team so far.
Good, Vasco. You saw something on that left today and went straight for it.
Yeah, no, I tell you, we spoke. We liked the right. We went hard left. That's good. Just that everybody knows. Okay. Now Michele drove very well the boat. We have a little edge on the others, I think, and that's make a difference. So we have a very good start, more or less as we planned. We are happy. Now final.
Now to the finals, and you see now Team Spain coming on board, immediately getting at it, and it's good to see them together. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Rachele, right there, caught in the commotion of boats and teams changing as everybody is eager to get out there. You see the Spanish guys just jumping onto the Italian boat. So they're going to be very excited here as they're getting onto the winner's boat. Not to say that there's any difference between any of the boats, but
always
it's
feels
psychological.
Good. Exactly. It always feels good getting onto a boat. There's just one.
So there you go. That was a very exciting race. As you see, the wind is still up, the sea state is still up, and we should have a great second race. So, Paul, thank you very much for coming in here, and perhaps we'll see you for the next race. Guys, stick around, and remember that you can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook, and also, of course, take a look at our website, and have all sorts of information on the website. Now, we are going to take a small break, and we will be right back for the second race of the day. We're going to leave you now with the highlights. So stick around. We'll be right back.
I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. Fire in the veins, I fight to gain, break
is your best memory as a sailor? Ian?
Mine is probably my first match racing world championship.
Nice.
How come?
It's quite a long time ago, so it's quite hard to remember it, I have to admit. But yeah, it's I guess it's about achieving a goal, isn't it, that you set yourself for a long time and worked hard to try and achieve.
What is the most interesting thing for you in the SSL Gold Cup event?
Probably the most interesting is the people involved. Great sailors out on the race course, and
Yeah, huge variety of nations and teams and sailors from different backgrounds. It's good to mix.
do you think penguins have knees?
Aaron, this is your one, because you look like a penguin expert.
I mean, you'd think they would under the little tuxedo, right? They kind of walk like they don't have knees.
I think I'm going with no on that one.
No? Team choice? No?
Yeah, no, I'm
No.
not going to
No
vote
knees.
no.
Hello, my name is Martina Graal. I'm from Team Brazil. I do main strategy and floaters, so I just basically help everywhere that is in need.
I think as a floater it's very important to be versatile, flexible, be ready to shoot in whenever you can.
Well, on the pre-start, I'm in charge of telling the time every 30 seconds, 20 seconds, or 10 seconds, and after 30 seconds, it's every second.
I don't do much, I just go straight for the hike, but all the other maneuvers and helping with the pole out and tack in. Downwind, helping to pass the spinnaker on the jibe. On the downwind maneuver, also helping the spinnaker in.
I pass this line that it's kite halyard, and I pass it to the jib trimmer to put it on the winch.
If I compare being a floater to real life, I would say that it comes close to being a best friend. You always try to help everyone and keep the far goal in mind, and that doesn't always mean putting yourself first, but yeah, being a good person.
Which movie would you want it to be if your life was a movie? Smurfs? They seem to have a lot of fun.
Mamma Mia seemed like a lot of fun to make. Could get a bit over the top with the musical though, all the time.
Who do you see as a hero in this world and why?
I think Usain Bolt's probably up there.
Yeah.
He had a lot of fun, enjoyed his time, entertained the entire world, and became the fastest man on the planet. He performed everything that sport should be.
Who is your all-time celebrity crush, Ian?
Yeah, I'm not really into that sort of thing. You go for that.
Got to be Margot Robbie or someone like that.
Oh, Margot
actually.
Robbie's probably a good shout.
Yeah.
You want to...
I stopped watching Neighbours well before she was in it.
My name's Tom Slingsby and I'm the helmsman of Team Australia. I'm working with our trim team to try to make the boat go fast, also helping a bit with tactics and positioning on the racetrack.
My name is Robert Scheidt. I'm the captain of Team Brazil and my position is the helmsman. A lot of the times, because he has the boat on his hands, then it's easier for him to make some judgment calls of when to accelerate, when to push the boat.
Generally, I don't have too much to say on where we're going, but I'm working with Matt Belcher on the tactic. He's giving me a lot of information, and then I'm making the decision if we go with that or not.
My name's Ian Williams. I'm the team captain for Team GBR and also the helmsman. Yeah, so the helmsman drives the boat using the wheels here. We have 2 wheels, one on each side, so we change sides each time we tack and jibe.
I can sometimes also go to the leeward wheel to have a look at the jib, a look at the opponent, where the opponent is, because a lot of times the opponent will be behind our sails.
And we almost always steer helm from the side closest to the wind, which is the high side on the boat.
Yeah, the steering wheel works just like a car. It's pretty simple.
Open the box in the corner, take it and go back to the bench. That's the London Olympic gold medal. It reminds me a lot of the memory back in 2012 when I won this gold in Olympics. This gold medal was the first ever in Asia and nowadays still the only sailing dinghy gold medal in Asia. I think I not only made a history for my country but also made the whole Asia proud. And then I remember a lot of people cheering for me on the medal race area. I realized several generations of Chinese sailors dream. Now the real medal is in China Maritime Museum. So if you ever travel to China, to Shanghai, pay a visit to the China Maritime Museum and you'll see a lot of exhibits that I donated and hopefully to showcase a bit of my experience and story in order to inspire more people to join the sailing family.
My name is Jacob Wilson and I'm the midbow on SSL Teams Sweden. Mostly I'm an extra hand on the upwinds. I'm helping the pitman a lot and the bowman. On the downwinds I'm helping the grinder, giving him an extra hand and moving my body weight around and giving a hand where it's needed.
I give back and forward information so that everyone on the boat knows it. You have to be ready all the time to help.
As a midbow, I think the hard part is you have to understand what's gonna be the next move, so you're at the right spot at the right time.
It's like the old position in football called libero, because you have to change position and do different things and give a helping hand if there's need a man.
How does it feel to get gold medal at the Olympics? Well, it's like climbing the top of a big mountain. It's the goal of every athlete. You know, the ultimate goal for every athlete is a gold medal at the Olympic Games. But getting a medal for sure is a great feeling. You feel great, you feel on top of the world. But I think the process of getting the gold medal and the improvement and what you have to go through is what enriches you more than the gold medal itself. Is it stressful to be the captain of the SSL Team Brazil? Yeah, kind of, because we're sailing with a group of very good sailors. I mean, a lot of champions in the boats. You feel kind of the responsibility to be, to raise your bar and to sail the best every time you jump on that boat and sail with those guys. So it puts a little bit of pressure. The more you sail with the team and the more time you spend feeling that stress, the more used to it.
My name is Facundo. My position in the boat is the grinder. So as a grinder, you are using the coffee, which is basically the engine for the sails, because as we know, the sails for this boat are very, very heavy and really big, and with all the power of the wind, it is really hard to change them and to adjust them. So you are working together with the trimmers to adjust and release the sails with this beauty here.
So my name is Nelson Metro and I'm grinder on board Team Switzerland. For this role you have to be heavy and as strong as you can. So there is really big guys on the different teams.
My name is Jens Möller. I'm the grinder here on SSL Team Sweden. Of course you need to have the muscles when you're grinding, but I think you need to know what's happened when you're taking care of the pillar stall to get the sails in, so you don't smash things, and get the right power and the right trim call, and see what's happening on the course, and be ready every time.
So it's pretty basic how it works. It has a couple of bearings under the floor of the boat, and it's connected with these two winches to manage the front sails. Basically by pressing in these two buttons, it's connected with starboard winch. Then the same happens with the port winch, and the beauty about this is that it can also be connected to the main sail. During the race, you have to be very aware of what's happening to help pull the sails, because the sails are so heavy.
Which music are you listening all the time right now?
I'm listening to Jamie T's new album. Top of my list on Spotify at the moment. Jamie T. Number one album in the UK at the moment. Who's Jamie T? I've not heard of Jamie T. You haven't heard of Jamie T? No.
I've got a lot of Dead Mouse and electronic dance music because I was in Ibiza last week.
Yeah, really? That's epic. That's epic. I've been listening to a lot of Coldplay recently, but not the dreary, boring ones like the bangers, you know.
Yeah, euphoric.
Yeah. You were in Ibiza last week, were you?
Mm. Do you think that your team could win SSL Gold Cup? Could win SSL Gold Cup? Or will?
Oof.
Of course we could.
Yeah.
My name is Luke Patience from Great Britain. My position on the boat is the mainsail trimmer. So I trim the big sail. I'm the small guy trimming the big sail on the boat. So my main role on the boat is to keep control of our biggest sail. And so it's with a lot of help from the crew though. I don't do it alone. You know, we have a big powerhouse in the boat, Phil, and he does all the hard work for me. I'm just holding a bit.
Minus 10, 9, 8, we have a go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, we are back and we are about to get racing underway here as this is day of the semifinals, and we are about to start the second semifinals of the day and find out who will go on to the finals series. So I am joined here with Paul McKenzie. Paul, thank you very much for being here for the second race of the day.
Good to be back. Another big one. Could be a great race.
It's going to be a great race. We've got wind, we've got waves, we've got everything that we need to have a great show. So now, let's take a little look here as we've had an interview this morning with Mark and the captains that will be racing right now. So let's take a look at that interview.
Hello, well today we have the 4 semi-finalists in the second semi-final. And this is going to be a seriously tense day. One race to decide who goes through to the final. Two of you will be going through. So, Zomba, for Team Hungary, you have been in the competition since the one of 16 rounds. Yes. So, the ones who've been in the competition the longest. How are you feeling going into today's race?
Great. We are all excited. We are happy to be here, and we just have to live the moment. We enjoy it a lot.
And do you fear any of the other teams out today?
Not really. I think if we sell our best, then it will be more than enough.
And Louis, Spain, you've got the pressure of the home nation here. But your team has done exceptionally well and has won 3 in a row, I believe.
Yeah, but no pressure. We are sailing here in Spain. It's a very nice event, and so I'm happy that the event is here in Gran Canaria. But yes, it's only one race. We have to sail as good as possible and try to be in the top 2. But I'm very happy with the team we have.
And your team has shown exceptional boat speed at times. Do you think you can carry that on?
Yes, it's easier when you have a very good streamers, and everything is easier for the tactician, for the helmsman. So the streamers are very good, and that's in the last quarterfinal we could see that they work very well.
And Leslie, we saw an incredible double points race in your fleet where you just qualified, but you've now got the momentum with you with that win.
Yes, we didn't get the best of starts, but we gave Nick, our skipper, complete faith. We said, go for the start, we've got to do well, but don't worry if you muck it up, it's all good, we're behind you, because we knew we had to go for broke and we really wanted to win that race. So that was one of the reasons for that mistake, but everyone was behind Nick and we sailed the boat to the best of our abilities in every section of the boat, and so determined. Yeah, so we've learnt a lot from the previous races we've had, and we have a huge improvement curve, so we're really looking forward to today's race.
The confidence that I've seen amongst your team after that race has been huge, whereas going into it looked like you were pretty nervous.
Well, yeah, most of us haven't sailed these boats before, so we stepped on had very limited time to practice beforehand, but we really feel like we're coming to grips with it now and gelling as a team, which is so important.
And Xavier, Team France, we saw some fantastic control match racing when you were trying to qualify for this semi-final. And do you think these kind of tactics are going to come into play today?
I can't really tell you the plan, but as always we have a plan. Match racing is not really the case here with the format. So for sure it's sometimes one-to-one battle between the teams, but first of all you have to do the best start you can and then going very fast, and then you have a look to what's going on.
Well, overall I think it's going to be a fascinating battle on the water. We can't wait to see how it plays out, and good luck to all of you.
Oh, that was just a great interview right there that Mark got with the 4 captains. As you see here, this is the match board as Italy and the Netherlands are on to the finals. And now it is time to watch who will be able to go through with New Zealand, France, Hungary, and Spain. So let's take a look here at the team comparisons. On the top left-hand side of your screen is Team New Zealand, the Guardians, SSL ranked number 8, weighing in at 716 kilos, captain of the team, Leslie Egnott. To the right is Team France, Les Bleus, SSL ranked number 6, weighing in at 723 kilos, captain of that team, Loïc Perron. Bottom left-hand side is Hungary, the Shamans, SSL ranked number 13, and they're weighing in at 726 kilos. The captain of that team is Zombor Berec. And to the bottom right is Team Spain, La Armada, SSL ranked number 5, weighing in at 723 kilo. Captain of the team, Luis Doreste. Now let's listen to the team's national anthems. Those were the team national anthems, and now let's take a look at who's going to be on the boat as we start from the back on Team New Zealand. So, as the tactician is Chris Main on the helm, we have Nick Egnott Johnson, main trimmer Sam Barnett on the grinder, Robbie McCushion. Trimmer is Paul Snowhansen. Trimmer is Alistair Gifford. Floater is Leslie Egnott. And the pit is Alex Mitchell Barker. And bowman is Taylor Ballo. As we go on to the next team, which is Team France, we see tactician is Stéphane Christidis, helmsman François Brenac, main trimmer Xavier Roar. The grinder is Anthony Munoz. Trimmer is Emmerich Michel. The second trimmer, Hugo Studler. Mid-bow, Elliot Michal. Pitman, Bruno Jean-Jean. And the bowman is Edouard Mas. Keep it going as we're going to Team Hungary. The tactician is Jambor Berets. At the helm, we have Robert Bakotsi. And main trimmer, we have Marcel Goslet. The grinder is Levente Takachi. Trimmer, Yobo Adorian. And second trimmer is Okosh Lilik. Floater, Balaz Tomai. In the pit, we have Jambor Yopyosh. And in the bow, we have Arwen Nemet. And we continue now with Team Spain, as the tactician is Alfredo Gonzalez. Helmsman is Roberto Bermudez, known as Chuni. Main trimmer Nano Negrin. Grinder is Elias Aretz. Trimmer 1 Javi Plaza. Number 2, trimmer 2 is Nico Rodriguez. Floater, we have Sylvia Mas. And in the pit, Alex Muscat as bowman, Pedro Mas. And of course, the captain of the team, Luis Doreste. So that is your lineup, who you are going to be seeing up on the boats for today. Now let's go out onto the water and see what is going on as the boats, now all the teams have gotten onto the boats and we are ready to start racing. Now let's take a look here at the race course for today. As you see, the boats obviously go through the starting line, then around mark 1 to the offset, zigzag their way back down through the gates, back up to mark number 3. And as we go around mark number 3, that mark can change as we perhaps, if the race committee does decide to change the course around. And we'll take a look at that one more time as we zigzag up to the forward gate, then back down through the gates, and we go back up through mark 3. Zigzag our way back down and through the finish.
So if there is a change on the second upwind, it's going to be much harder for the teams with this extra pressure, bigger waves, stronger winds. Getting the kite up is more of a battle when you don't have that offset mark. But given the steadiness in the breeze, probably there's less chance of a change than the other days.
Yeah, and Paul, As I am getting some information right now from the race course, it seems as though AP flag is up, and so therefore we have a little bit of a delay for the start right now. So that perhaps is, well, we don't exactly know yet what that is due to. So we'll take this time right now to show you a little clip about something that we have, which is brand new, and a lot of people have been starting to play, and that is our Panini album. And as we have a virtual Panini, and we also have the real album with the cards. So we're going to show you that clip real quick. As soon as we can get back to racing, we'll go back live.
Welcome to the Star Sailors League Digital Collection, the ultimate Panini album for sailing enthusiasts. Ever dreamed of building the perfect sailor collection? With this app, that dream becomes reality. Dive into a sea of excitement and start your journey with 2 free card packs filled with the world's most admired sailors. But that's just the beginning. Expand your collection every 24 hours with 2 extra packs or by purchasing them from the shop. New and familiar faces await in every shuffle. Got duplicates? No problem. Join our vibrant swap market. Here, you can trade with fellow collectors. Offer the cards you have in abundance and chase down those elusive sailors to complete your dream collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or new to the world of digital Panini albums, this app offers an ocean of possibilities. And as a special treat, scan the displayed QR code now. It contains free card packs to kickstart your collection. But don't worry if you missed it. The code will be back during our live show. Ready to set sail on your collecting voyage? Download the SSL Panini app now and let your sailor's journey begin.
Right, and that was a little clip about our Panini album options that you guys can scan that code, like we said, and you can also go onto the Apple Store or Google Store in order to be able to go and get that. Now, as you see here, the boats are getting ready to go sailing. We have another little clip about something else that perhaps might interest you. How about Legos?
My name is Eric Bedelek. I am co-designer of the Lego SSL 47 scale model, and we're here to promote it and present it to the public. I am also co-winner of the Season 2 of Lego Master France.
Je m'appelle Alex Favre, je suis co-designer du SSL 47 en modèle réduit et également vainqueur aussi de la saison 2 de Lego Master France.
This model is made of Lego parts. It's approximately 460 parts. We tried to be as close to the real model as possible. The most difficult part was the design of the hull, because it doesn't exist by Lego. We managed to measure with laser the real hull of SSL 47. We tried to put as many details as possible. The 4 winches we put 2 just behind the mast and 2 on port and starboard just between the grinder. This model has many moving parts like the real boat. Firstly, on the front we have the bowsprings, which can be extracted and retracted just by the pull of a string. On the middle of the boat we have the grinder, which make the main winch move. The 2 steering wheels with the rudders which are working, the ropes and cables stabilizing the mast. We tried to make the sails as close as it is in reality. Below the hull is the rudder, which is moved by the 2 steering wheels. Since the beginning of the project, we worked 18 months on this model.
We are very thankful to the SSL Gold Cup for the opportunity to make this project and to be part of it. You will be able to find the model on the market and the website soon.
Well, that was very interesting. A lot of people have been talking about that Lego boat, and the Panini cards have been making a big statement here. So there, you saw it for the first time, and that will be out soon. Everybody will be able to buy them as we are getting the boats built actually as we speak. So that'll be out soon, and you'll all be able to buy those boats. Now we have a little bit of news now from the from race committee. It seems as though Orange will be back up, and the delay is going to be canceled. Right now, it's looking like we have 11 knots at the race committee, and we have 9 knots at the top mark. But we did just see some rain cloud coming through out there, so it looks like we're still having a little bit of squalls, Paul, as we're speaking.
Yeah, I noticed the breeze has gone around a bit to the right. We started the last race with 55. Breeze is around to 90, 100 at the moment, so I think the clouds coming through and the rain coming through has changed the pressure, but also changed the angle. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes back or if we're getting more into those numbers.
Yeah, remember that if it does change, then race committee does have to change the whole race course around, which means moving around all the marks, all the boats, and everything. So it's quite a bit of work, but we're obviously not going to get things started if we don't have a race course, which is perfectly well set up. Just to remind you guys, the race committee that we have here, along with the jury, our international race committee, international jury, it's the best of the best. The jury is the same jury that is in the Olympic Games, and so we're really it's very important that everything is set correctly, and that all teams have an equal opportunity to be able to make it to the finals. Now remember, only 2 of the 4 boats that you're seeing on your screen right now will go through to the finals which will be held tomorrow. There is 1 race for these 4 boats today. Whoever passes the line in first and second moves through. The other 2 will be going home.
They know it. They've known it for a while. They knew it in the last round. France has been on the edge a bit for a while now.
Well, yes, but let's we'll be able to speak a little bit more about the boats. We'll be right back. We want to show you one more thing that you guys can get yourselves, and that is a mobile game. So here's a little clip about the mobile game. Welcome to the SSL Gold Cup sailing game. The SSL Gold Cup is now at your fingertips and waiting for you. Come and sail around the beautiful island of Gran Canaria. Sail against 54 countries and choose your favorite one. 3 basic tutorials will teach you how to use the boat and become the nation's world champion. 2 maps are available for hours of fun. So scan the QR code for hours of fun. right, Orange is up on race committee, and that means that we have less than 10 minutes before the start of racing. As you see here, all 4 boats are now getting ready. There it is, 8 minutes until we get ready for sailing. So, weather forecast. Currently, we're seeing between 9 and 11 knots. The wind direction anywhere between 80 and 100 degrees. So, pretty much east. The forecast right now is light rain and 20 degrees. Now, we were talking a little bit about the teams, Paul. Let's talk a little bit perhaps about this team, France, right here. Ooh, looks like it's raining out there.
Yeah, the French team's interesting. They're not a young team. They've got a lot of experience. They've been here for a while now. It's been slow progress, but they've made it through every round. They don't seem particularly fast, but they're not making any mistakes.
Yeah, we've seen them actually be quite aggressive in the previous rounds. They've never really been at the forefront leading the packs, but always making it through.
Yep, mentally tough, no tactical mistakes, just lacking a bit of speed, and the starts are always okay, but never putting them in a really strong position. They'll need to do a bit better if they want to make it.
All right, let's take a look at the next team, which is the Hungarian team, or the Spanish team. We'll go with the Spanish.
Okay, let's go with Spain. They've been really impressive, breezing through the last round, smooth, fast, a bit like GBR, but possibly they're in a tougher group than GBR. So let's hope that they don't fall into the same traps as GBR and they continue with strong starts and strong tactics and not getting too conservative.
And let's talk about the Hungarian boat.
Hungary's been really impressive. They've been here for a long time. Steady progress, really strong leader. I think they're right behind him. He won a medal at the last Olympics. I think the first one for Hungary, at least for a long time, maybe the first one full stop. Speed's good, manoeuvres are strong. A lot of them sail together on mini-maxi. Tactics are strong. I'd be surprised if they don't make it through.
And we know this is a team that sails a lot on the Lake Balaton. And that's a very, very big lake. Have you ever sailed on that lake?
Yeah, I've sailed there a lot. It's nothing like these conditions. But the team sails a lot in the mini-maxi in the Mediterranean. Zombor's done a lot of time training, actually training in Lanzarote. So I think the waves won't cause them any problems.
Yeah, so he's put together, Jean-Bord there has put together a very strong team.
Crucial moment.
And now let's talk about Team New Zealand.
Well, I think they're the underdogs. They've been the underdogs last round and they made it through. Pretty green team, but a lot of talented sailors. And I think they've got a good atmosphere of not putting unnecessary pressure on. They were over at the start last time, came back and just went with the mentality of go fast and do our best, and it worked. So, yeah, I wouldn't count them out. I'd be surprised if they make it through, but we saw what the Dutch did in the last round, and they're a bit in a similar situation.
So there we are looking at the race committee as you see them bobbing up and down in a very, very wavy race course. The orange flag is up, so that's a good thing. As we see now, we will see a flag coming up. It will be probably P flag, giving us the rule for within the minute. So we'll see that here in just about a couple seconds as it goes up at 4 minutes. There it is. So that's P flag. And what does that mean, Paul?
4 minutes to the start. You can hear the teams are starting to discuss how they want to position coming into the line here. I think it was the Kiwis we could hear talking. They're heading out to the pin end of the line, whereas the Hungary are going to have a starboard approach coming back. It looks like the Kiwis will have a port approach with attack. Might give us some idea of who wants the right, who wants the left, but it's still a bit early to tell.
Yeah, we are 3 minutes away, as you see in the background right there, a little bit of rain clouds that have been rolling through. Quite different weather than we've been seeing these last 3 weeks.
Yeah, even I would say a bit less pressure than we had for the first race of the day too. Just a couple of knots, but that'll make a difference on the downwind for sure. The waves haven't dropped at all. So the upwind probably be quite similar, but the downwind might be a little bit of a different story with less chance to pump onto those waves and really get the boats to light up.
Well, we're seeing the race course being set at 0.80 and a course distance of 0.9 nautical miles. Last race that we saw just about an hour ago was 1.1 nautical miles. So it seems as though the wind has dropped a little bit, and I have news from race committee telling me that a rain cloud is coming in, so it's not going to make it any easier for these guys. Perhaps we'll see them sailing towards the rain cloud, hoping to have a little bit more wind. Here we're looking at the Hungarian team right now as they're doing a big bear away, as we are 1 minute and 55 seconds away from the start. This is a crucial moment right now as we see the Hungarians, Spain and France, and now New Zealand. Everybody has bunched up together towards the pin end. So you see they're keeping their distances right now. It's a little bit of a dance right now between all these boats, jockeying for positions as we are 1 minute and 30 seconds away. It is so important right now that these teams get the time and distance to the line. Absolutely correct. This is a crucial moment, as we have seen teams not making it across the starting line on time.
Well, there's definitely the potential at the committee boat to get locked out and have to come in second row. But with these waves, it's a bit less than normal. And the French, well, I'd say they're going to be close to the ley line there.
There's the French boat right there, just plowing through those waves. Now it looks as though perhaps that is New Zealand, which is leeward of Team France, trying to slow them down.
So everybody's setting up pretty high for this start at the moment.
As the bowman really needs to hang on as he's going up and down several feet in the air. Several meters. At least a good meter and a half. Here we go, 18 seconds now, time and distance. Oh, Spain! Spain is late to the line. Or are the others early?
Spain's definitely late.
Spain is late. No, this is not good. We were just talking about how important it is to get the time and distance correct. And it looks like right there, the Hungarian team with the best start right now. Not too bad for New Zealand and France. But, oh, that start for Team Spain, that's a catastrophe. That's not what they needed. Remember, this is the semifinals. If Spain isn't one of the first two boats to make it across the finish line, that's it. That's it. It's game over.
I'd say if there's one team in this fleet that's got a speed advantage, it's probably the Spanish. So they're the ones that are capable of just sailing free and getting back into it. But
yeah, absolutely. We've seen Spain so fast, and actually much faster than all the other teams. They have that mode, and you know, as several people have said, that is the Spanish way of sailing.
They've had that mode, but we're into new conditions here with waves and more wind, even though it's not that windy now. So let's see if they've got the mode in these conditions as well.
Oh, as we're seeing that rain cloud over to the left-hand side. So we were talking about earlier, perhaps the teams wanting to go off towards that rain cloud, hoping to get a little bit more wind. And it looks as though that's what the whole fleet is doing. But, oh dear. Spain is now 50 meters behind everybody.
Some level of confidence from Spain, though, to just take a hitch up on over to the right and then tack straight back and line up with the others. It's not like they're rolling the dice early. They're going to trust themselves and try to get back into it with just better trim and steering.
All right, now let's take a look here. As this is Team New Zealand and France. You're just seeing in the background tacking away. They had to do that. They were caught in the middle of the sandwich between New Zealand and the Hungarian boat. So France now tacking away as the Hungarian boat got the best start. They are now out in front, just in front of the New Zealand boat. New Zealand, we saw them so strong in the last race, which was double points at the end of the quarterfinals, making some great tactical decisions and being able to pass on through to the semifinals. So let's see what New Zealand has in store for us.
Probably both boats are happy here that the French managed to cross. French attacking on the lead bow position for the Spanish would have probably hurt both teams.
So there it is, Captain with his hat on backwards and the sunglasses right there. He said he had a plan, so let's see if we can figure out what his plan is. Obviously, it is not to go and attack the third or fourth place boat. They want some speed. Now you might be wondering, why in the world is he wearing sunglasses? It's raining outside. Well, it's very simple. That's just to protect his eyes from the rain and also from the salt water splashing up in his face. Now as we take a look here, New Zealand is now the leader. So New Zealand finding some good speed right here. Perhaps being able to put in a little bit of a low mode as New Zealand and Hungary are in the lead right now. So the Hungarian boat only 6 meters behind.
Yeah, it's a nice battle between these two, but it's interesting to see that the Spanish deficit is just dropping a little bit all the time. Looks like they've got a little speed edge. They're coming back.
It looks like there's quite a bit of difference right there in terms of pressure. Looks like Team New Zealand is being able to go a little bit faster. Look at that. They've pulled out from 5 meters all the way.
They're really down pressure at the moment. All the crew's moving into the center of the boat. Things are changing. This is a big moment, I think, on the first upwind.
All right, now let's see what happens. Sometimes we have seen when big changes like this happen, we have seen race committee decide to stop the racing and restart. Perhaps it's not big enough of a change. It really needs to be a big change in terms of wind direction. As we're listening to the French right now, as they too are now inside the boat. Let's go out onto the water and find out. As Raquel is out on the water, she'll have a much better idea of what's going on out there. Raquel, what is going on?
Well, I'm on the course right with Team France, Jan, and we are, I wouldn't call it a hole because it's not properly a hole like we've seen in the previous days, but it's really light out here. And I don't know what Team France saw, but probably they're regretting it because it's really, really light here. And with the waves haven't stopped, of course, they're getting possibly bigger than before. So no wind in big waves. I think it's not the way you want to sail upwind here. They're not hiking out. They're all actually in the boat going towards the bow like we've seen in the very light wind there. I don't think it is such a big shift that the committee is going to cancel it, at least not for now. But it's definitely, there's definitely a lefty going on here, a strong one. Like I can see white caps over there where the other teams are. And here, the only white caps I see are the ones given by the waves, so not the wind. There's probably, well, there is a big cloud going through the race course. Maybe that's the one affecting the situation, but I can tell you from body languages and facial expression that the French are very tristes. Ils sont trop tristes à ces moments. And the tactician is looking everywhere, trying to find maybe some new line of wind coming down, but their sails are not very tight. It's really sad to see them like this, and I don't see much of the others. Like I said, we're really going up with them, but there's wind on the other side, and there's not much here, Jan.
Well, Akele, just before we started talking to you, we saw the Hungarian team also completely down at the bottom of their boat, so no wind either on the left-hand side. But now, as we are on board with Team Spain, we're seeing that everybody now, New Zealand, Hungary, and Spain, have all managed to find some wind again. So very fluky and very shifty as we're seeing big changes in pressure. But it seems as though not so much in terms of direction. Oh, look at this. It
looks like the Spanish are probably going to come out of this pretty well because everybody's overstood on the left-hand side. You can see the Kiwis reaching in the most with the sails the most east and trying to get the bow down and get back to the mark, whereas the Spanish are still sailing upwind and probably going to lay from there. So the gap will be small at the top. Probably not a good sign for the French.
It looks like they are completely over ley line right there. As we are 600 meters away from the windward buoy, and we're seeing in the background there some white caps and more rain as the French have gone off to the right-hand side to race course right. So we'll see what happens when these boats come back together. But right now, it looks as though New Zealand and Hungary are leading. But look at how close it is right there. So Team Spain has managed to be able to come back into it as the boat's now finding quite a bit of speed as they've had to bear away. Very interesting as we're seeing everybody out right now trying to get as most riding moment as possible.
It's getting a bit tricky for the Hungarians at the top here because New Zealand's giving them a bit of dirty air. Spain's just underneath, but I think they're all just going to follow each other into the mark. The manoeuvre's going to be more difficult for the Kiwis to get the main on with this extra pressure for the tack. They'll lose a little bit more than the Spanish, but it'll all settle down and there'll be a hoisting competition at the offset
Quite
mark.
interesting is how we see they have eased the mainsails and they have also eased the jib, as clearly they've all gone too far because the wind has now turned. So it looks like a big left shift that just came into the race course. And that's probably that rain cloud you're seeing in the back. So if that is the case, a big left shift, then this is disastrous for Team France as they were off onto the right-hand side. Now we are getting closer and closer to the windward mark as we are only 140 meters away from that windward mark. And it looks as though Team New Zealand once again is managing to get out in front just like we saw them in the double points race.
Yep, nice start for those guys. Not over yet. But it's down to a 3-boat race.
It is down to a 3-boat race, but we'll see what happens here in the downwind. Now let's take a look here as Team New Zealand is tacking in order to get to the windward mark. There it is. So now a very crucial moment for Team New Zealand. If they want to stay out and they want to be able to go on to the finals, this hoist right now is so important as it's getting slippery inside that boat. Oh, we can just see the rain now as they're coming down into a huge rainstorm. What happened there? I just heard a whistle. Oh, penalty for New Zealand! Penalty for New Zealand! As we saw them not putting their kite up. So that was too long with the bowsprit out, not doing anything. Oh, we just said it was such an important moment, and now they have to do a 360. Oh, terrible, terrible news. So now they've just done a tack. Now they'll have to put in a jibe. And they have to put in that jibe. They have to jibe now and then hoist. Oh dear, oh dear. So tough break for Team New Zealand. Another bowsprit issue in the semifinals as they were leading. Catastrophical. Oh no, terrible. Oh geez. First to third right there. Oh, what a tough break. All right, but they're lucky for them. They had a pretty good lead, or a little bit of a lead, so they managed to do that 360, and now they're going to be able to come back. But New Zealand right there taking a penalty from the jury. So that was the jury giving them a red flag because they had the bowsprit out and they were not hoisting the spinnaker. When you have the bowsprit out, you must be hoisting the spinnaker even if it's slow. And they've been so tough. They've been so tough, the jury, on every single boat.
So a bad mistake from the Kiwis, but fortunately for them, they stayed composed. They did their penalty. They hoisted properly. They're right on the back of the Spanish. Don't count them out.
Oh, what a change of situation right there as we've seen a leader change. But this is very good for the Hungarians and the Spanish, as now Team Hungary is in the lead. Now let's take a look here at the French as they're hoisting their spinnaker. If they want to have any possibility of being able to come back, this has got to be a perfect hoist, and it looks as though it is. No issues for the French, as it was a good fast hoist, and we're seeing now the jib coming down in the front. So these guys are going to have to work real hard as they are 690 meters behind the leader. Well,
it's going to be interesting to see how the wind shift's affecting this downwind, whether the mark's been relayed and the boats still have to jibe to get to the bottom mark, or whether it's a long starboard tack.
Okay, this Hungarian team currently is the team that has that has been here with us since the 16th of the finals, I believe. So they have gone through many rounds, and they've managing to get to the semifinals, and it looks like right now they are in the lead. This is going to be super crucial for these guys as they get down to the gates to make sure they have no mistakes in order to have a fighting chance to be able to go on to the finals. And here we are on board Spain, which is just behind the Hungarian boat.
Spanish look quite fast. They've closed and they've got a bit of gauge to leeward. So if there is a jibe to do, the Spanish are in a strong position.
Remember, we are in the Canaries, and this is basically home for these guys. There's a lot of people here that are watching. There's a lot of pressure for this Spanish team to be able to make it on to the finals. All right, we're on with the Hungarian team right here. These guys have put in a very good team. These guys are lake sailors on Lake Balaton, and they're doing an excellent job right now. They've been so consistent, so smooth.
They really work together. You can just see that everybody's got their job. They know what it is by now, and they're sailing well.
Lake Balaton. That's how you pronounce it.
Balaton, yes, I think so.
Oh, we're getting closer and closer. This is the This moment right now is a crucial moment as we are seeing the jib go up on the Hungarian boat. So important right now for Team New Zealand. After having done that penalty, they're not out of it.
So looks like an advantage on the right-hand gate looking down.
Looks like terrible weather. All right, here goes a windward drop right now. Remember, that spinnaker is soaking wet. Oh, look at that job. What a great job. What a great job from the Hungarian team right there, deciding it to put a jibe and going over to the right-hand gate. Now, this is the moment for Team Spain. Can they put their spinnaker in without any issue? This is going to be crucial. If they can, perhaps they will be able to stay in the second place position right now. Let's see what's going on.
Didn't seem to be any panic on board. I think they got it under control.
So it's under control right there. Perfect, it's under control. Now you just heard some sound signals right there. So obviously the race course has been changed. Now let's take a look at the next team that's coming in right there. That's Team New Zealand. So not quite as fast as the others, but it doesn't look like any issues right now for Team New Zealand as they are almost neck and neck with the Spanish team. So the Spanish team deciding to split and go off to the right-hand side. Here we are on board with Team New Zealand. This is a crucial moment for them. They've done a great job at taking down their spinnaker down at the leeward gate. Oh, looks like a bit of a mess right there with the spinnaker sheet we just saw right there. So a little bit of house cleaning is going to have to happen onto this boat before they get up to the next windward mark. And look at that, France just so far behind. So right now, unless France can pull off a miracle.
Another one.
Another one. Another one. Exactly. All right, here we are on board with the Spanish team. And just to let you know, that was a Charlie plus red. So that means that the course has been made longer and shifted to the left-hand side. So race course left. Now, perhaps we can get Raquel on and tell us what's going on out there, as it definitely looks very, very wet. Raquel?
We are very wet. Jan, very wet. It's a wild ride today. So, but we're enjoying it, and we're going up with the Spanish now. What a gift the Kiwi have given them. And they went, I would have never thought they would go right, but actually now that the big cloud with the rain passed by, maybe they think it's gonna bounce back on the right a little bit, the wind. Like you said many times, I mean, they know this area. The tactician Nano Negrin sails a lot. The snipe here, he knows this well. He's from the Canary Island, from Tenerife, exactly. But and then Luis Doreste, the captain, is on board today, and he's from Gran Canaria. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to throw away that present that the Kiwi gave them by just trying to go on this side. Honestly, at the moment, I don't see the pressure they saw, but I mean, they have more experience than I do. They're tacking now, so maybe they're not too happy about their decision. So now the crossing will tell us what happened, and we'll know. Like you said, there's been a change of course, so the wind is a little shifty, and it's probably due to those clouds passing by. But they're hiking out, so they have pressure. I'd say yes, maybe we're on about back to 11 knots after a slow 2 legs. We'll see. I'm very curious to see the first crossing.
Well, we'll see exactly what happens. We do know that the wind turns with the clouds, and if those clouds are going towards the right-hand side, that we should see a right shift. So perhaps right there, the Spanish just hoping that the wind turns right, and right now having a massive lift, and perhaps this will be enough for them to be able to pass in front of the Hungarian boat. Hungarian right now just trying to control Team New Zealand. So we'll see what happens, but you see right there on our screen that the leader, the Hungarians their lead is diminishing as the Spanish team has managed to take advantage of that cloud moving to the right-hand side of the race course, and they are definitely getting a great lift right here. So Team Spain, tactically speaking, right there, just doing a beautiful job. They're about to get in front of the Hungarian boat here as they cross.
You can just see the boats going really nicely through the waves, not chopping wood like we saw in the first race. It's really smooth, up and down, just over those swells. They got the boat going, but they got the trim right to just get through the waves. And the right shift, that's the key.
So they're not going to cross, and they want to keep the right-hand side right now and throwing the Hungarian boat back to the left. So definitely showing us that Team Spain wants the right-hand side and doing everything they can to put the Hungarian boat back to the left-hand side.
Well, it's a double logic. They've gained on the right. They're happy with that side, but they got the Kiwis to the right of them now. So they're also defending at the same time. The win-win for them.
So it's an attack on the Hungarians. It's a defense against New Zealand as Spain right now is trying to take the lead. Oh, they're playing two games at once. This is crazy. This is a really difficult thing to do. And it's looking like the Spanish right now have just barely managed to make it into the lead.
Yeah,
in any case, they've gone from third place to perhaps potentially first here, as it's really neck and neck with the Hungarian boat.
Yeah, you can just see that Spain's sailing a slightly lower mode than especially New Zealand. They're really pushing, concentrating on the speed, getting through the waves, and they're just crushing down on top of New Zealand and probably sailing a bit faster at this stage.
Yes, we can definitely see right there the difference in the tracks in terms of the tails following behind the boat, as we've seen Spain really always really so fast, and right now just for Spain to be able to only be 20 meters behind the Hungarians, as we've seen the wind is turning right, so right now they should be losing more. Once both boats will tack, we'll see how they come back together. We are at 900 meters away from the windward mark. Now remember, this is leg 3, so we are more than halfway through. For the time being, going on to the finals, it's looking like the Hungarian boat and the Spanish are managing to do so. Now, we'll have to see. Only 900 meters left until we get to that weather mark. So once the boats come back together, we'll see what happens. It looks like it's getting a little bit light again, as we've seen New Zealand right there not hiking as hard.
No, it's a bit of a waiting game at the moment. They're getting close to the ley line out here on the right-hand side. So the Spanish are probably thinking whether are they going to go all the way to the ley line and try and set up on top of New Zealand, or do they continue to sail the wind and try to get a piece of Hungary at the top mark?
And we'll see what happens, but there is less than 800 meters as we get up to the windward mark. Now remember, once we get up to that windward mark, we've heard that there was a Charlie plus red. So what does that mean? That means that right now we will not have the offset mark up at the top mark. It'll just be that one pink marker, which means that they'll have to do a lot of maneuvering. They'll have to bear away and hoist the spinnaker immediately. With all these waves and this wind, we'll see how this goes.
The loser at the moment is Hungary.
look at that right there. That's really talking about the pressure. There's the tactician. He's now come a lot more forward. That's Alfredo Gonzalez right there. He is 7 times world champion in the snipe class, in the SC45 and SC42, the J80. A lot of experience from the number 9 right there, as he was just explaining that, there's a little bit of pressure over there. That's where I want to be. And of course, bringing his weight back to the center of the boat. So now, Team Spain has decided to tack over. They are apparently seeming to be on the ley line, as we're seeing the number 1 right there going up to the front. That's Pedro Mas. Used to sailing in the TP52 and the Maxis.
More pressure on the left and a left shift at the moment. So Hungary's looking a bit stronger than they were. Spain and New Zealand have had to go over that ley line to have a chance of laying the top mark.
Now remember, guys, it's not about finishing first, it's about finishing in the top 2. So the battle right now, what we're looking to see here is who out of these 3 boats will finish in 3rd place, and it's so close as we're seeing left shifts and right shifts. And look at that now, Spain coming back as it's 75 meters lead for the Hungarians, coming down to only 65 right now and diminishing. So perhaps now it's the Spanish boat that has more pressure. This could be a huge change. Like the Spanish boat right now still does not have the lead. It looks like Hungary is going to tack at any moment. There it is. There's the tack from the Hungarian boat. As it looks like perhaps the Hungarian boat will be able to get to the weather mark first. So this is a full-on drag race right now.
This is the race we were looking for.
This is it.
3 boats overlapped at the top mark.
As we still have a sound coming in right now. It looks like the Hungarian boat is the Hungarian boat going to be able to make it to the windward mark right there. It looks like as though the Hungarian boat and the Spanish have been able to make it. So Spain has taken the lead right now as they're all going downwind. And New Zealand is in it. There's nothing in it. Look at that, 6 seconds between the first boat and boat number 3, as we are trying to do everything we can to get you the live images. But right now, this is a battle between 3 boats, Spain and Hungary and New Zealand. Who will make it on to the finals? Oh dear. What do you think, Paul? Do you think New Zealand right now can attack the 2 front boats?
I think everybody's got a chance. Possibly Hungary's in a complicated situation. They probably don't have the option for a jibe, and they don't really want to just follow, but they are second. So
here we see France now coming back. Well, going towards the windward mark. So France is definitely out of it, and the race right now, we'll see what happens between the Hungarian boat and New Zealand. As perhaps these rain clouds here have caused some issues. For us, and we're trying to get you the live images as we're seeing the Hungarian team right now. What's going on? The Hungarian team now is taking the lead, so it's a huge battle between the Hungarians and the Spanish, as New Zealand is 20 meters behind the leaders. So New Zealand is trying to catch up, and New Zealand is just waiting for a mistake from either the Spanish boat or the Hungarian boat. They know that if one of these 2 boats makes a mistake,
yeah, but we've seen so often the boat in the position where New Zealand is just waiting for something to happen rather than being proactive. It seems to, generally it doesn't work. You got to get out got to get a bit of room, make your boat go, and come back on starboard at the end, I think.
Looking like the Spanish team and the Hungarians are managing to pull out a lead right now over Team New Zealand. As we're still hearing the onboard right now. Spain is still in front of the Hungarian boat. So right now, Spain is our leader. And here we go with a jibe. Oh, and we're back here. We've got the onboard images. This is great. So this is Team Spain right here. Look at that. They're managing to put on. Look at the body expression right there as they're surfing down the waves. We are on the last stretch here, on the last leg. About to make it to the finishing line. They've got a 50-meter lead over the Hungarian boat.
Here they go with their jibe.
Here goes a jibe for Team Spain. Such a crucial moment. And it looks like nobody is deciding to match their jibe right now, as New Zealand is just waiting for something to happen in the front for them to be able to bounce back out in front of everybody.
Well, New Zealand is based on a match racing group. So they'll be comfortable to bring it into a match race, but if you take the positions at the top mark and compare them with the positions now, they've been losing on the staying on starboard. Just jibing off now.
Just jibing off now, but look at that trace that we are seeing right now from the Spanish teams. It looks like they're going straight down. They've got enough pressure to perhaps make it directly to the finishing line. As New Zealand now has also decided to go and follow Spain. So now this is going to be a difficult one for the Hungarian boat. Oh, as Team New Zealand is only 30 meters, 25 meters right there. Oh, look at this. Look at how much work is going on right there in between those two boats. There is really nothing in it. What an attack. The attack is now coming up from the New Zealand boat. As we're seeing rain clouds, and this is absolute chaos. It is chaos out there as rain clouds are moving through. As you see the sea state, there is so much in it. 1,000 meters are left until we get down to the finishing line. This is such a tense moment right now, as only the first two boats that cross the finishing line will make it to the finals. Boat number 3 of these 3 will be eliminated and are going home. What will happen? Oh, this is so close. If New Zealand perhaps can make the mark, what's going to happen if Hungary, the Hungarian boat, perhaps will have to luff and have a little bit more speed?
Hungary's done quite a nice job of getting into a position where they can sail with clear air. But if New Zealand can lay without a jibe, they've got a chance.
They've got a chance. This is anybody's game. 600 meters until we get to the finishing line. We're doing everything we can here to get you the onboard pictures live. 500 meters left. Looks like Spain is currently our leader. So it's Spain and the Hungarian boat right now. That's looking like they're going to be able to make it to the finishing line. Let's see what happens. Will New Zealand have to jibe? What do you think, Paul? They're going to have to jibe or not?
Probably will have to jibe, but probably doesn't make any difference. Looks like Hungary's really got the boat going. They're gaining on Spain. Probably won't get up to first, but they've made gains, and they're looking good for the second place.
Oh, look at the tactician right there. He's going back. So right now, perhaps a decision to put in a jibe is going to be coming now from the Spanish team as they are 200 meters away from the finishing line. There it is, a final jibe. This is a crucial moment. This jibe has to be impeccable for Team Spain to be able to go through the finishing line as they have an 85-meter lead over the Hungarian boat. The Hungarian boat also has an 80-meter lead over New Zealand. Right now, it looks like the Hungarian boat will be able to make it straight through the line here as we're looking onto the Spanish boat. No, Hungary has to put in a jibe, so crucial moment right now for the Hungarian boat as well, but it looks like they've got enough of a lead to be able to make it through, and Spanish boat goes through the finishing line first, and the Hungarian boat as well. So it is Spain and Hungary making it to the finals as New Zealand, wow, that penalty up there cost them dearly. Look at these guys, they can be so proud of themselves. Oh, congratulations, Hungary. Yes, congratulations. These guys coming from so far have made it through so many rounds.
Sailing really well. Don't count them out of at least a medal in the final. They're looking strong.
Oh, wow, what a race. Woohoo!
But the Spanish were really impressive. A bad start, just not panicking, sailing, taking the shifts, going fast, just getting through all the way to a win.
Oh, and right here, oh, the opposite right here. It's just so disappointing for these guys. Oh, just one little mistake.
Yep.
And it cost them the race. So, frustration on Team New Zealand right there. And absolute joy on the Spanish boat as we all thought that was going to be it for the Spanish after that terrible start, managing to come back strong and making great tactical moves as they were coming back upwind. But how about the French boat? Where did they go?
Just didn't get a break, got out at the wrong time, the wind shifted, didn't roll the dice their way today, but they've done well to get this far. Good team.
Oh, wow. Well, there it is. Spain and Hungary going through to the finals. It's so great to see this team going through to the finals. Not that it's not great to see any of the other teams, that's not what I'm saying, but these guys have been here the longest, and they've been through the most amount of rounds. And I believe that it is the team that has the least high on our ranking of the SSL ranking of all the teams that are here right now. So,
yeah, I could
they're the underdogs, and it's always great to see the underdogs win. So there it is. So unfortunately for France, today was not their day, as they are coming across the line right now. But they've put on a great show for us. Team France over and over again, but just today wasn't their day, and New Zealand, I feel terrible for them. Just one little mistake, but we've seen so many teams get caught out with that.
Yeah, it's a pity to do it in a big race, you know, one step before the final, because they looked like they had the potential to go all the way.
Oh,
but
yeah, they were sailing very well.
Yeah, but that's the way it goes.
But that's the way it goes, absolutely, Paul. And so here we go, Spain, Hungary, going to the finals. And I believe that I am hearing the voice of Raquel in the background. So I'm sure we're going to go out onto the water as soon as they're ready. Wow, what an epic day of racing right here, as we've been seeing a lot of rain clouds, and these guys weren't feeling any of it. The adrenaline must have been pumping, as we saw them also for the first time slipping and sliding all over the boat.
Yeah, and interesting that the Spanish took Lewis with them today. He hasn't been on board every day. I know he was there for the last race, but they've taken him out again. Obviously he's adding value. Probably I saw him pointing a lot upwind to the breeze or the clouds that he was seeing, and yeah, seems to have his place in this team.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. Before we go over and speak with Raquel, who is trying to get on one of the boats, let's take a look at the replay, and then we'll go out onto the water with Raquel. So here it is. So great to see those images of them going across the finishing line.
They're just putting everything into it every day.
It's just great. It's they've been so tense up to now. We've seen the teams really not showing too much emotions, just really staying as concentrated as they can. And today we're seeing all of that that happiness and that concentration be let out. So that's good.
Yeah, I see teams doing the business up till now, but today they're into the final. It's another level. It's hard to hold it back.
So that's what we are going to have tomorrow. It'll be the finals, and as right now we are getting ready. We're trying to have Raquel and with the interview out onto the water, but. Here, as we look again at fleet number 2, 37 minutes of racing. And so race committee doing a great job there at putting a race course up that is approximately 45 minutes long. I can hear Raquel. There she is. It must not be easy.
The Spanish boat, yes. It's not been so easy to jump on board this time between the waves and the guys going so fast. For them, the competition is not over. Chuni, you know the big waves, right? You're an ocean sailor. So for you, it was just another ride.
Well, every race is different, and today is really, really difficult conditions, big waves and sometimes really light wind. And change the gear is the most important key today. For example, the start was good because that the winds drop. We were in a really back position and we cannot go. But anyway, the team working really well. Yes. The tacticians and strategic did a good job, and they saved us really good. And then, still working, and we sent the package. We are on the final, and
that's it.
And finally, tomorrow will be another day, and will be, I think, a really interesting final, and maybe we get some different weather. But anyway, it's good. It's good.
It's good. So I called Nano the tactician, but tactician is actually Alfredo. Nano, you do the main, right?
Yes.
But you are, Luis and Alfredo, you are the 3 canary guys, right? So, tenemos uno más. We have 4. Wow, 4 canary guys. So you know this area very well, and you saw probably that rain cloud going away, so that's why you went to the right, Nano?
No, it was a very difficult day. It was we saw some clouds, but sometimes at the beginning the clouds were going to the south, but then it was coming more to the east and north. Then the wind changed a little bit during our race. So it was a very difficult day because after the start, the wind drops, and then we have to go to, as soon as possible, to go to the new wind.
Okay, so I lost the earpiece. It's wild here, so I guess I'll go back to my boat. And good on the Spanish. Well done. Vamos.
Well, thank you very much, Raquel. As what a wild ride for her. As I'm sure just getting onto that boat with trying not to fall into the water with a microphone and everything was very epic. There we go. We can see the boat she's on. That's the boat with the mainsail. That's the most open. Oh, as we take a look here at who will be in the final, so we know it is Spain and Hungary. So the finals will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, beginning of the afternoon, Italy, Netherlands, Spain, right there, here, there you are.
And Hungary.
So those are some of the guys that are sailing on the boat right there, as we have put this new graphic up for you guys in order for you to be able to see who will be sailing on the boats and get the faces of everybody. We just want to say hello to everybody who's been watching us and has been following us. We thank you very much all across the world. And we are very excited to be able to come back tomorrow and show you a great race. Now, we'll see what the weather is like tomorrow.
Should be a bit sunnier and a bit less wind, but they're used to that now.
Let's hope we can get back to our normal weather. However, that was
today was fun. I would take today again anytime.
Yeah, it was very exciting. It was great to see all that racing, and we are excited to come back tomorrow. Guys, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course on our website. As you saw earlier, we have lots of different things that are coming out. For example, we had the Panini game with the Panini cards, the virtual Panini. We've got that new game that is coming out, so where you can race and you can go around the islands, and you can do that. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for the Lego boat. So the Lego boat will be coming out very soon. It was great to see the guys from Lego Masters that are here and that have been hanging out with us for a week and being able to see the real boat. So lots of things happening, and check out all of the videos that we have on social media for you guys. Paul McKenzie, thank you so much for coming in and commentating these two semi races. And
it was great.
It was great. Yeah.
Can't wait for tomorrow.
It's going to be wonderful. Guys, thanks a lot. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you tune in, and thank you very much for having stayed with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
to the midnight hour. All the way we go, we go.